Hi everyone, thank you so much for joining me at K Warner Studio for the unboxing of Love from Lizi July 2018 card kit. So let's get at it. There are always two bags, a small embellishment bag, which I'm going to set aside so we can get into the stamp set, the stencil, and the papers, which is what I like it all, but I'd like to see the papers. So here we go. Everything comes in resealable Ziploc bags. They are sent this way so that everything arrives together safely and securely, and then if you choose to put all your bits back in the bags so that you can keep the kit in one intact, you can do that, or you can use them however you like. I like to keep the papers together. So I've taken the stamp set out of the bag, and just to show you, here it is. I crop off the top so that I can keep the paper and the stamp set and everything all together, just like this. And then I remove it. So the thing is that these are made from high quality photopolymer. They're manufactured in England, and they're a Love from Lizi exclusive stamp set. Now this one here has various shells, sea life like a starfish, and other shells around it. There are 3 sentiments. Beach spells best escape anyone can have. You've got some scallop shells and some oyster shells. Let's Shell-abrate, and happiness comes in waves. This is 3 and 15/16 or 3 and 7/8, and that's 9.7, I think, and 9.9 centimeters. It is able to be used for a landscape card this way or a portrait card, and you can stamp them together to make a larger image. Excuse me, this here and this here match up, so if you want to have a continuous seam, you can, as do these shells here and here. So you could use this, you know, for canvas, for tablecloth, for wall hangings, just beyond a card. Also, we have a stencil, and this stencil, in case you're wondering, always has the name etched in the bottom. This as well is a Love from Lizi exclusive stencil, and this one is called Bubbles. Now this just has the positive in this one, but sometimes we get the positive and the negatives. But the thing about this one is that if all you would use the negative for would be to trace the image, so if you just want to take your writing instrument and just trace around the bubbles, you're going to have the same thing as if you had the negative. So that's that, and this you could use with distress inks. You could use ink blending, as well as embossing, painting. What was I thinking of? Even Nouveau drops to have the guide for the different shapes you could use for this. It's just as much as your imagination wants is where you can go with this, as well as a stamp. Now in this kit we also have a Love from Lizi exclusive peel-offs that come in 3 different sizes. These are transparent pink glitter. I mean, hello! And none of the glitter comes off on your hands. Now if you want to know how to use these, they can go between, you know, the seam of different cardstock. You can bend them to shape them. You can use them to highlight a sentiment or an image by placing them on each side. Really, there's many more things you can use them for than what I use them for. So, you know, just give them a try. They're inexpensive, and you can buy them separately if you want to try different colors as well. They're in Lizi's shop, and I'll put a link below in the description. We have some wonderful specialty papers. These are pearlescent in the green, and they're usable on both sides. So we have this nice leaf green or spring green. We have mother of pearl or oyster, pink, and as well as this like a sand or pinky beige color. I like this one. It has multiple uses. It's like a nice neutral. And then we have 6x6 papers. Now some of these are plain in that they don't have Specialty or spot gloss or glitter or anything, but a lot of them have the glitter. So this one happens to be just an ordinary piece of paper in various shades of green, from a yellow green right to a spring green, which is the same color as the pearlescent paper, and they are single-sided. Then we have this spot gloss, and the spot gloss is on the images, and also there's little teeny tiny dots in the background. It's on that as well. And there's glitter in this spot gloss, and you can see how that is there. So the blue doesn't have anything, but everything else does. Here we have some beach huts. You could cut these for borders, and the colors repeat themselves in that you have, it keeps with the greens and the pinks, blues. There's some orangey reds. You have life preservers and banners and pails, shovels, and other imagery that's constant throughout all of this kit. Here we have the pails, which are on a yellow background, and have the pails have different stripings, vertically, horizontally, a combination of both, and the colors are constant on this piece of paper as well. So anything that you see on this sheet of paper, like the yellow and the orange and the red and the pink, blues, greens, all in various shades of those are all the way through. This doesn't have spot gloss, nor does this. These are odd-shaped polka dots in various sizes on a nice pink background, and that's single-sided as well. So someone like me that has a hard time deciding, this is ideal paper. Now the colors that are mentioned in the other ones are all on here in various sizes, and these two are an awful lot alike in that they have the same dots, with the exception of this one where it has teeny tiny dots as well, which you can see there. Now the banners that were on some of the beach huts on this imagery are here, and they have the spot gloss glitter just on the banner part, or the flags, or whatever you call them. And you can see that there. Here we have some critters. It could be a toucan or an owl or a parrot with gulls and dogs, teddy bears, cats, and a frog. We have some sand castles, beach balls, buckets and shovels. You could cut that in strips, or you could just leave it as a portion on your card. Here we have the shells that were in this stamp. There's just two of different shells here in different sizes. The starfish and the other shells here are the same in different sizes, and they are on a white and blue background with dots, and the spot gloss is on the shells, the dots, and the starfish. So the blue and the white in the background do not. We've got some stripes which are the same color as the banners, and this is just plain paper. You can do them either way. Life preservers. There are markings on this blue. The blue doesn't have the spot gloss to make it look as though there's movement. And as you can see, these are nice and bright and glittery. And then here we have the sand castles that were in the strips. These images here are just larger, and they're all over the yellow background. So as you can see, we have some teddy bears, some dogs, some cats, owls, there's little mice. There wasn't mice that I saw on this one, but there might be, but I just didn't notice them, but I don't see them there now. So there's no mice on that, but there are on this one. So you can see the teddy bear with the dress and the pail and the little mouse there. So then we get into these larger decoupage sheets. Just going to move these out of the way a bit. Here we go. And these go together. They're layered from largest to smallest, and each one is numbered. So for example, this one here, you have the same critters that were in the other two pages that I mentioned, the stripes as well as the whole ones. So if you get the cat, the dog, and the teddy bear, we've got beach hat, a pail, and a shovel, and then you have a beach bag with some other things in it, and one large piece, or one piece altogether with the sentiment. And then in this one here, number 2, you would just layer the frame over the top. And then you would use dimensional foam and or other dimensional items to pop them up. So we have 1, 2. Number 3 is the critters on the chairs. So you'd layer them directly over the top of the existing imagery. And then here we have 4, which would be your happy birthday sentiment. That would come out of here and layer over the top here. And then we have the animals, which would be the final step. So this little kitty here would come out and would just lay on top of the cat here to give the dimension. And they're all like that. So here we have the mice with the ice cream cone. And this one here has 4 steps and an extra piece, which would be this one here. You don't have to use them as decoupage. You could just use these here simply in cards, however you like to do it, and just have all these extra pieces, or you can actually layer them. Now this one here, the stripe portion here, that just pops right off, and the frame and the little animals, the mice with the ice cream cone, are what comes out and are attached to the others if you choose to do it that way. So that's this one, the mice. And then we have a sailboat with the cat and the dog. And this one is by the sea. And then your extra sheet here is with love. And they all have the spot glass glitter on them, on the images. Then we have lovely friends. So we have the cat and the bird. And this one here has 5 images and no extra piece. This one has your frogs or toads with life preservers on the waves. And this particular one has 5 pieces and no extras, if you choose to layer them. And then we have just to say. The extra piece is an extra just to say bit, but as you can see, even right down to the drinks are little images that you can apply over the top. You can see the difference between this final frog or toad, excuse me, and the beginning one here. Not that much smaller, but enough that it would really give it a lot of depth of dimension. We've got another beach hut. And this one here has 5 pieces as well. And then finally we have another just for you, which are beach huts and all of the little critters. Gulls, dogs. This one has a little crab, some beach balls. And there doesn't appear to be an extra one here. So number 4, they're all together, and number 5, just the animals are together. So your pails and your beach balls and your crabs. And then our cardstock. We have 2 sheets of white. This is 8.5, 11 by 8.5, so it's North American standard letter size. The white can be used for Copic, even zig markers. We have yellow, nice bright yellow, an orangey red, and then a sky blue. So that's the palette, and then we're going to look at the embellishment bag. And here we have banners or flags, and they are foam, so they're pliable, and they are self-adhesive. Die cuts. So the little fellow that was with the bird and the beach towel and the pails, just for you. Here he is on his own. Without the glitter. And the spot gloss, we have a sundae, a beach hut with a life preserver pail, and then these flags or banners. I even call them buntings, depending on what you call them where you live. And then we have the teddy bear on the beach chair with a pinwheel, holding a book with the bird and a pinwheel. We have a bag of sand, which I have lots at my front door. And then we have some wood veneer pieces. A beach hut, or fishing shack, I guess, with adhesive dot on the back. An ice cream cone with some chocolate in it, and that too has an adhesive dot on the back. We have a sailboat, an anchor, a wheel, 4 shells, and this is the wood veneer shell of these shells. We've got a scallop shell, starfish, seahorse, an angelfish, and finally a snail. Now, those are the wood veneers and the real shells. A full nouveau, so this is a full 30 mils or 2 ounce or 1 ounce. Let me see. Yeah, 30 mils or 1 ounce. This is the crystal drops, and the color is simply white. And we have some foam adhesive squares, 2 sheets of them, a sampling of sequin mix and the colors that we have there, the green, pink, like a mother of pearl or opal. We've got a mint green that also is like holographic. They're in various sizes, a hot pink and a light pink, orange, and then a clear one. They're cupped and flat, I'd say in 4 different sizes. So there we go with that. And that's just a sample of it. For a full-size bag, they would be available on Lizi's website. And as I mentioned probably before, I'll put the links to her site below, as well as information on subscriptions, because her kits sell out really fast, and if you would like one, a subscription is a sure way to get it. And also, while we're talking about subscriptions, you just pay the initial shipping for your kit, and then anything else that you purchase in the shop is sent to you shipping free. So you just pay the one charge, it doesn't increase. So we have this nice long piece of ribbon, which has little beach shacks or fish shacks or beach houses, huts, whatever you want to call them. And then we have 3 different colors here, and the light blue, which is the exact match to this blue here, an orange and a yellow, and they're all 1 meter and they're 1/8 of an inch in width. And then finally we have 2 dies. Oops, we have an ice cream cone, and then we also have maybe a log. This little thing here has some dimension on it that you, when you put it through your machine, you'll end up with a little bit of embossing. And this ice cream cone is from tip of the ice cream to the tip of the cone is 2.5 inches, or I'll give you the centimeters here, or 6.5 centimeters. So that is the July 2018 Love from Lizi card kit. Thank you so much for dropping by, and I hope that you'll have a look at lovefromlizi.com. Bye-bye.